Alright, check this out. We're gonna be talking about Greek wars and their military and all the things that they got going on. Okay, my name is Abraham Pena. This is gonna be my final for history class. Okay, well, either way, the most iconic and the most idyllic army is, of course, the Spartans. Those are the Greek, like, one-man army people, the ones that go out there and they destroy everyone by themselves. But fact is, they actually don't. They don't go through everybody because their armor is so heavy. They're like heavy people, but skinny and have abs, and it's cool. They usually get in like formation, sort of like this, basically, right? They line up and they put their shields right in front of them. They get their spears, which are called dories, and they stick it out in front of them. They're 3 meters long. That's insane. If there's another opposing army that's in the exact same formation that they are in too, they push against each other like this, right? And they just they gotta hope somebody messes up and they just die, right? But their weapons, at least, we gotta include some weapons in here before we start getting into the big wars, right? Alright, let's start this off quickly. There's the dory, which is the 3-meter long spear with a bronze head, which we've already discussed. There's the hoplon, which is the shield with their marking on the front, which is literally just that sign that it has on it. And behind it is 2 inches of oak wood. Then there's the Zephos, which is kind of like a really weird sword, but it's the iconic sword that Leonidas uses to kill everybody. So yeah, now it's time for war. Alright, now it's the Spartans, which is 300, and technically won because Leonidas was the leader and 300 Spartans. But then it was versus the Persians, which is 250,000 Persians. They were gonna be fighting between mountains, which made it a very narrow place for them to fight. The Greeks all lined up, this is the Greeks, not the Spartans. The Greeks all lined up in their fighting formations, and then Persian arrows just completely destroyed them. And they were wimps, and they just kind of went back. But then here come in the Spartans, 300s, and then they decided to bring in the Persian soldiers, and then version 2, and then version 3. And then about 1.5 days later, there's like the Persian army version, like 9 million or something. And then finally, they decide to start kind of retreating. And the whole hunchback guy or whatever, he decides to go and tell that there's an alternative route around the mountains where you can sneak up behind the Spartans. So the Persians do just that. The Persians end up coming through that alternative route and end up behind the Spartans. The Spartans have to turn around, and they end up telling all the other Greeks to leave already because they don't want to face any more casualties than they need to. So with what Spartans they have left, they fight off all of the Persians, and then they decided to retreat and just to end up getting finished off. And as everybody knows, the arrows blocked out the sun, and Leonidas and everyone else ended up being killed. And that was the tragic story of the Spartans and their great war.
I'm dying inside, and all I see are demons.